Three Turkish athletes then. Their compatriot Sezgin Ashtash won silver 2 years ago, but can they upgrade? Off we go then. 25 laps of the track, but will it be quick or will it be edgy, tactical, cagey? We're about to find out. The women's race, well, it was anything but cagey. Well, it looks like it's going to be the edgy and cagey type of race because they have gone off almost walking. So then, as we were saying early on, 2 Americans, 9 more who study in the US, 3 Turkish athletes, 2 Ugandans, looking to make sure that this title stays in the East African powerhouse for a 3rd World University Games in a row. Not too much known about the second of the Ugandans, Peter Kasakinde, first major championships, who's just come back from a back injury, or back from injury. Seth Akamba, we saw him in Chengdu. He ended up being disqualified. I was told that by the Ugandans that he was pace setting there, which might explain that. You're not allowed to really pace set in a major championships. However, he's bounced back from that by becoming the gold medalist at last year's World University Games long course cross country championships. Goes to the Bishop Stuart University.
Hug. Back to Angus.
Lucas Erler is the man who's been taking it out, well, the hardest. Not exactly hard. Nobody else has been interested in going with the man who studies at the University of Mississippi in Oxford, USA. He's got a personal best of 28 minutes 40.28. But the pace going through the first kilometre, 3 minutes, which means they are on 30-minute pace at the moment. One of the 2 Indians that has managed to bridge the gap. That is Kiran Matra, who's in his first major championships, the man who studies at the Institute of Industrial Technology in Bhubaneswar. He's close to breaking 29 minutes when he's on the pace, but like I say, they're about a minute outside that at the moment. They are trying to improve things. They've broken away here. The New Zealander who's gone with them is Toby Gote. He attends the North Carolina State University and is the reigning national champion at 10,000 meters. He was second in the 5,000 as well and has good strength training done at the Cross Country World Championships, the juniors, back in 2019 to build up that strength for this. His personal best under 29. This season, though, just over. And you can see that the others in the behind are just beginning to come back. The 2 Kenyans just working together to come back.
And back to the track.
They've just gone through 3,000 meters in 8:20 or thereabouts. They're on 72-second pace at the moment, which will get them home in about half an hour. They've just speeded up just a little bit, and that is why the gap to Erler, who was the early pace setter, has disappeared. He's been overtaken by the young Kenya, the youngest man in the field, Brian Muso. Looks like he's got his teammate behind him. as well. Dangerous British athlete David Malarkey is also now moving to the front. He ran 27:51.80 to be the fastest in the field. He's had 2 PBs at 5,000 metres in addition to that 10,000 metres PB that he set, finishing 3rd at Stanford in California. But that was all the way back in April. Collegiate system very heavy through the spring. Now coming into the summer. World Championships around the corner. Although they're late this year, they're in September. Usually we would already be getting ready for them now. Sort of in the early August, but you can understand why it's in September in Japan with the heat and humidity that you suffer over there. I remember going over there in 2007 to Osaka, and it was unbearably hot and humid. I don't know how the 10,000 metre athletes managed to get around. That was the race in which the legendary Tirunesh Dibaba, the multiple Olympic and world champion, fell over during the race. 30 metres behind, still came back and won at the end. It was an astonishing piece of running in really awful conditions for distance running. Seth Camber, I think, who's
a putt that's less than she intended. 12.93 first putt. Back to Angus.
Change at the front again. It's the American Dayton Brown who's now gone to the front in his first major championships. He's having a really good year, advancing his times in distances 1,500, 5,000 and the 10,000 metres. His best now at the longer distance, approaching 28 minutes. Americans have had some great runners through the years. Bernard Lagat, the former Kenyan, one of the greatest for them, and it's a current Kenyan, Kelvin Cheptegei, who has overtaken the American to go into the lead. Brian Musau still there. Kenya 1 and 3 at the moment, with Malarkey of Great Britain in 4. The Portuguese Rogério Amaral behind them. And you can see from leading the race, the German athlete Lukas Oehler has now been dropped off the back of this large lead group. That lead group is about to overlap and overtake Abhishek Devkate, the 22-year-old Indian who goes to the Shivraj University in Kolhapur in India. He's not quite, though, in the class of the men who are sprinting past him. The pace continues to quicken. 11:47.34 at the last intermediate time check at 4,000 metres. Heading towards a 29.5-minute pace now, if they can keep this going all the way. There's the second Briton. Isaac Hirschman Chandler, 22 years old, who goes to the University of Birmingham. In Great Britain, I hasten to add, not in the US. We have a number of US-based runners who are not American, but he's not one of them. So then the first move to the front for the other British athlete, David Malarkey, will have seen himself as a favourite coming in here. Great form being shown this season. Only he and Wang Wenji of China have gone underneath 28 minutes. Both of them having done it this year. Wang still keeping his powder dry, the Chinese, from the Tsinghua University in Beijing. He's looking to improve on his 11th place finish from 2 years ago, where he watched Dismas Yeiko, Sezgin Atas and Yuito Yamamoto of Japan stand on the podium whilst he was outside the top 10. Little look at the screen that is over on that far side by the British athlete, just seeing how things are going. On the first night, it was right from the gun that Klara Lukan of Slovenia started to break the wills of the opponents behind her. Tonight has taken the men a little bit longer to start going. I wouldn't say they've really lit the touch paper yet. Malarkey feels like he's had enough and has just backed off a little bit. Happy just to sit on the shoulder of the new leader in this race, who is Chepsegor. Only got a personal best of 29.5 minutes, the 24-year-old who goes to the Kisi University. Through they go, 11 laps to go in this 25-lap race. Halfway was reached in about 14:40. They keep going like this and they will be faster than 29.5 minutes. Little skip off there by the American Dayton Brown. There is a drink station for this 10,000 meters. I have to say, I didn't notice one on the first night for the women. Well, the lead is swapping over. This time, it's the Spaniard, Miguel Bedal, who has decided that he needs to go to the front. Bronze medalist at the 2023 European Under-23 Championships, and also silver medalist at last year's World University Games cross-country championships as well. Well, having got his drinks into his body, the American Dayton Brown feels sufficiently nourished to have another go at the front. However, the pack are not going to let him break away now. 10 laps to go after this lap. 4,000 meters to go. It's building up into a pretty good race, and there's still a dozen men in that lead group. There's Malarkey, very compact, upright style, just tracking the two Spaniards in front of him. Going down to a single file, which is a sign that the pace is just getting quicker still. Dayton Brown with a 3:47 personal best in the 1,500 meters shows that he's got some decent speed. 5,000 he improved to 13.5 minutes as well, which is a very good time. And his PB on the 10,000 meters almost down to 28 minutes. Full of confidence, full of running, still going. And through 6,000 meters in 17:36. Going down into the low parts of the 29-minute 10,000 meters now, as they push and push and push, winding this up steadily. Two Spaniards going well. Mario Prigo, we haven't talked about yet. He goes to the United States collegiate system, Eastern Kentucky University in Richmond. He was 20th in those World University Games cross-country championships last year. Just over half an hour. He's had experience at the European Juniors at both the 5 and the 10. And he's following his more experienced teammate, Miguel Bedal, very intently. Past another of the stragglers. laps to go. The number 12 that you saw there, Cheptegei, still looking strong. Feels like they've just backed off a little bit though, even though the American Dayton Brown is still in front. Everybody looks comfortable at the moment in that pack. Seth the Camper is the Ugandan that's in there. He's around about 8th at the moment in the yellow vest of Uganda. Uganda rising power force, challenging the dominance of Kenya and Ethiopia at the Olympic Games and the World Championships with the likes of Joshua Cheptegei. But not only him, he's the great leader, but others also banging on the door. There's another kick, it stretched them out once more. And now for the first time, we see Wang Wenji, the other man under 28 minutes, shows his hand at the front and injects a burst of pace. It's another lap runner they're going to have to negotiate their way round. Wang Wenji doesn't look the most comfortable of runners, sweating profusely. But he knows he's one of the fastest in this race. And if you can keep this going, then he knows that some of the others don't have the personal best times to be able to challenge him. It is a good night for running tonight. There's a little bit of a gentle breeze. It's a cooling breeze as well. That's a Ramazan Bastuk, two-time Turkish champion. Most of his international experience has been in cross-country, but he's gone to the front now and is immediately followed by Malaki. Took the lead early on when he felt that he wasn't going fast enough, dropped back again into the pack, and now he's back on the shoulder of the Turkish athlete. Another man showing his hand for the first time, the Frenchman Antonin Saint-Pierre, 22-year-old who goes to the Wingate University. There he is in the hat. Just seeing that young Kenyan, 18-year-old Brian Musso, tried to go around the outside of him, but it's still Bastuk. Another man who has had PBs at 3 different events, 5,000 and 10,000 meters on the track and 10K on the roads. A little bit of a struggle, it seems, at the moment for Thomas Termot, the other Frenchman in the race. Bastuk taking them through 8,000 meters in 23:19. Things are really fastening up. On course for a 29-minute finish now, having started off at a 30-minute pace at the beginning of the race. A mile to go, the metric mile or so, between these runners and a gold, silver and bronze, or nothing. 8 runners with 3 medals up for grabs. Still Bastuk. But even though he's taken them out, the others looking comfortable at the moment, with the exception of the Chinese, but he's looked like that for the entire race, so it's hard to measure how he's feeling. Good track discipline. Back marker moving out of the way, that's nice. It's the way it always used to be in 10,000 metre running. And they're about to come up to the other Turkish runner, Azat Dermitas, who's also moved out to let his teammate come through on the inside, as well as the others. A few Turkish fans in here, very keen for a Turkish victory. Still looking strong, Kelvin Chepsegor, the 24-year-old Kenyan, as they go through the finish line again with 3 laps to go. But the 18-year-old Brian Musso is looking ominously comfortable there. He's in around about 4th or 5th place. Antonin Saint-Pierre is beginning to suffer as well now. He's beginning to drop off. We're losing one of the Spaniards too. And even the Chinese, one of the 2 favourites, Wang Wenji, is looking like he might be struggling too. He's just on the back and desperately trying to hang on. Relentless pace being put in now by Ramazan Bastug. Very comfortable though, right behind him, looking right at his ankles, David Malarkey. There is the Frenchman, Saint-Pierre. He has a look around him. Well, he looks back, which is a sure sign that he's feeling the heat. Still testing them, though. Here's Ramazan Bastug. 800 metres now until the end. A very different race to the one we saw in the women's race, where the medals were split into 2 groups. 2 athletes fighting for gold, 2 for bronze. Here, everything is up for grabs in this lead group. Bastug, Malarkey, Chepsegor, Mario Prigo in there too. Wang Wenji. And of course the youngster, Brian Musso. Kenya with 2 chances here. The Ugandans have disappeared, so there'll be a new nationality on the top of the podium at this World University Games. Coming up to the bell. No one has lit the touch paper yet. Surely it's going to happen. But the big news here is the Chinese, Wang Wenji, has dropped off the back as they sprint towards the line. And Musso hits the front for the first time in the race as the bell sounds. Malarkey behind him. And now Bastug drops into 3rd, now 4th. He's overtaken by the other Kenyan, Chepsegor. Look at the ease on the face of the teenager. Prodigious talent from Kenya, but running for his US university as well. Malarkey is the only man who seems to be able to go with Musso. It's between these 2, it seems. Chepsegor has gone. So too has Prigo. So it's down to these 2. Musso, Malarkey, sprint for the line. It's going to be the youngster who takes it. What a victory this is for 18-year-old Brian Musso from the Oklahoma State University. What a brilliantly constructed race. The results, Brian Musso, a wonderful victory for the 18-year-old ahead of David Malarkey, who was the fastest in the field coming in and gets silver, and Mario Prigo makes it a collegiate 1-2-3. United States universities taking a sweep of the podium, even though the runners on it will represent 3 different countries.